DJ Pain 1, Violator All-Star, coast-to-coast record breaker DJs represented right here. And I'm back once again, rocking with the Joint Chief of Staffs Productions. Salute the staffs. Chiefs Nation, stand up. You know they got you for all your production needs. And I'm a producer too, I don't say that often. Hit up Super Mario and E-Retro at 832-713-6497 or hit him on the email jcsproductions@gmail.com. Now we've dealt with the preliminaries, let's get to the beats. That's what you're here for. Salute! God damn! Front row vision.
What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing, man? You know what I'm saying? Welcome to the On The Beat Podcast, 62nd episode, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let that music play out right there, man. Hey, we're doing something a little different here, man. We're gonna go ahead and start streaming our episodes here on YouTube. Trying to switch some things up, trying some things, little experts or whatnot, man. So talking to people that's on live on YouTube or watching the playback on YouTube, and also hearing it back on all CSPs, you know what I'm saying, my people on Spotify, you know what I'm saying, Apple Podcasts, all the other good stuff, man, you know what I'm saying. Thank y'all for tuning in and stuff like that, man. Today we're going to talk about nailing the final mix and what you need to do, how you need to do it, and what you can do in order to make your mix sound complete when it's time to distribute and release your next single or record or project, you know what I'm saying? So we're definitely going to get in on that, man, and we're going to talk a little bit about, you know what I'm saying, some things to help you out, man. I hope everybody's been doing okay out there, you know what I'm saying, surviving this COVID-19 crisis and everything else the world is trying to throw at us for us challenges and stuff like that, man. And also, man, just shout out to you all that's, you know what I'm saying, checking us out here on the Beat podcast, man. Appreciate your support and everything that you do with the platform, man. It's greatly appreciated for the little people that follow me and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Whatnot, man. All right, we're going to play some background music here. Gonna go ahead and turn that down right there, huh? Get a little scratches in, you know what I'm saying? All right, cool deal, man. The music playing in the background is a project that me and my partner, man, you know what I'm saying, E-Retro, we worked on back in 2014, 15 and stuff like that. It's called Front Row Vision, man. Definitely thinking about, you know what I'm saying, opening that up to the public and really putting it out there on the digital masses right there, man. So, you know what I'm saying, if you're an Audio Mac user or you never heard of Audio Mac before, just go ahead and go over to audiomac.com. Look up JCS Productions with a Z, man. It's plastered all over the place. Y'all know how to spell my JCS Productions with a Z. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you go check that out over there, man. Front Row Vision. That's going to be the backing music for tonight and stuff like that. So we definitely going to, you know what I'm saying, enjoy the festivities in the background. All right, cool deal, man. So nailing the final mix. That's what we're talking about tonight. How can you do it? What you need to do in order to get that final mix right? Well, we're going to talk about that, man, just a little bit. Now, the first and very first thing that you need to do, you know what I'm saying, is understand your mix. Understand the stuff that you have in your mix or whatnot. Let me turn that down just a hair bit more for you guys. All right. Understand what you have in your mix. And what I mean by that is, you know, you can hear each instrument clearly. You understand what I'm saying? When you can hear each instrument clearly, it just makes the world of things. You understand what I'm saying? When you can hear those instruments clearly, you understand the goal of mixing. And that's just to make sure that each element is portrayed clearly in the mix. You know what I'm saying? There's certain things that you have to do in order to get that translated real well, though. And that is, you know, little things that you can do with the mixer. Little things that you can do with the volume adjustments, the panning. You know what I'm saying? Simple things like EQing and stuff like that. You know, you can achieve so much or whatnot. So hearing each instrument clearly takes a great deal of pride and a great deal of knowledge in order to do so. But you don't need that much. You don't need a degree in order to achieve that. You understand what I'm saying? So how I like to get that approach of trying to hear each instrument clearly is basically utilizing your pan knob in your mixer or your DAW that you're using. When you utilize that pan knob, it goes a long way. You know what I'm saying? Panning an instrument, let's say, for instance, a lead guitar. Sometimes people like to leave lead guitars in the middle. That's cool. But if you pan it a little bit, -4, or pan it over to the right at 6, you'll notice that lead guitar stands out just a little bit. It puts an edge on the next instrument that it was sitting behind or sitting in front of. You understand what I'm saying? That's how you make instruments stand out clearly. Another one is a good one, and that's volume adjustments. Just really taking, let's say, for instance, you have a clap and a snare for my hip hop heads. You have a clap and a snare. They're both hitting at the same time, but how can you separate them? Panning, you don't want to really pan them. You kind of want to have a blend, but you want to hear the separation. Sometimes just turning one up and turning the other one down does the trick. And you ain't really got to do anything because those sounds or the samples or the one shots that you're using sound so good and sound so clear. Just that little bit of volume adjustment, it just boop, pops it out. You know what I'm saying? So now you hear more of the snare than you do with the clap, but it all blends in together. See what I'm saying? Simple techniques like that take you a very long way. And my last one to add to that is simple simple EQ adjustments. Simple EQ adjustments. And what I mean by that is just picture EQ as volume adjustment. That's all it is. EQ ain't nothing but a volume adjustment in a specified frequency range. Look, think of EQ that way. Now I can go technical in and take y'all to church, but I'm not going to do that. But just think of EQ. You have a band. They call it a band. It's a specified frequency range. And what you're doing, you ever heard the term when you're EQing, cutting or boosting, turning up the gain, turning down the gain in the EQ device? It's basically what you're doing. You're turning up something or you're turning it down. You're basically adjusting the volume of a specified frequency range. If you understand that, then you go to the next level as far as, understanding how EQ works. So that's another form of trying to make sure that you can sit that instrument or separate the instruments clearly out of the mix and stuff like that, man. We're going to move on to the next one, man. Another thing is you can understand every word of the lyrics. Now, you might say, well, what the hell that mean? You know what I'm saying? The vocal is the most important track or element in the song, period. You know what I'm saying? It should be the main focal point of the mix. So you want to make sure that is good. You know what I'm saying? It's not recorded too hot. It's not recorded too low. It sounds good. You use quality devices and instruments and equipment to get that right vocal recording. You know what I'm saying? Now, there's certain things that you can do in order to make sure that vocal stands out. One device in mixing that really can make and break a vocal is compression. And you have to understand how you use compression. It's not really EQ, because your vocal, your voice is kind of like a form of an EQ. You know what I'm saying? I can get low like this. Even though I'm talking through a processor, you know what I'm saying? I'm getting low like this. You hear more of deep voice in my voice, right? You know what I'm saying? But when I change my voice and I talk a little higher, it sounds like I put a high band frequency boost on my voice. So, you know what I'm saying? Your voice has natural dynamics. You see what I'm saying? So in order to make sure that, you know what I'm saying, you can get that vocal to really stand out is compression. Now, you can use any type of compression. You know what I'm saying? It really doesn't matter. It's how you use it. It ain't what you use, it's how you use it and stuff like that, man. And that compression is just basically maintaining a consistent level for the vocal in the performance or in the mix that you're using. Okay. Now, some normalities with using a compressor is something like a slow attack and work your way fast on the attack. So you start slow and you work your way slowly to a faster attack. You know what I'm saying? And always start with a fast release. And as you get more understanding of the vocal, when it's utilizing gain reduction in the compression, you can then slow up on the release. You see what I'm saying? So you're not just going in there, fast attack, fast release, you know what I'm saying? You're compressing the hell out of the vocal. No, you have to work that compressor. I like to say compressor is like it's like a female wearing one of those body wraps. You know what I'm saying? You got to work your way in there. You a big girl and you got that big old booty do. You know what I'm saying? You just can't put a body wrap on and you expect that motherfucker to compress your stomach like talking about. You got to work that bitch in there. You got to suck in your stomach. You know what I'm saying? Then you put the body wrap on, buckle half of the body wrap first, suck up that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's basically how you work in compression on vocals. You know what I'm saying? By having a slow attack, then gradually adjusting it to a fast attack, having a fast release and gradually adjusting it to a more reasonable release, far as a medium or a slow release and stuff like that, and kind of stay around a reasonable gain reduction amount, anywhere around 3 to -6. You know what I'm saying, on the gain reduction. Anything past that is by flavor and really how much you need to do. Rap vocals, I have personally myself, and I know how to make it work by the attack and release times, but you can get all the way down to -12 gain reduction with compression, and it sounds really, really good if you have a good recording. Let me say that. If you have a good recording or whatnot, man. We're going to keep it moving, man. We're going to move on to our next point, man. Once you establish separate instruments and you got a good level with your separate instruments and everything like that. Then you come back behind and you got a good vocal, everything you can understand with that. Somehow, some way, you got to glue everything together. And that's called making sure that the mix is glued together, which is another important piece for as making sure that you nail the final mix and stuff like that. And that's really another form of compression and stuff like that. So when you use a compression, you want to use something like a bus compressor. So what we're going to do for my people that's on the audio side of this podcast, we're going to pause the music and we're going to take a look at something here in Studio One. So let's go ahead and pull up Studio One here. And I want to show you guys something in Studio One, okay? All right. And I hope you guys can see what I got going on. And let me go ahead and switch up some stuff here just for a second. All right, cool deal. All right, so we're in Studio One right now, right? Okay. And I want to pull up this plugin right here. Okay. This plugin is called Bus Compressor. It's a bus compressor from SSL Native Duendo Bundle. Okay. And this is something that you would probably find on any mix in the industry, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's on the actual console or in Pro Tools, Studio One, Logic, Ableton Live, and whatever the hell there's people using out there, whatnot. This is a bus compressor, you know what I'm saying? If you look at my parameters, my threshold is not even thresholding. You know what I'm saying? I got it set at the default 20 dB of gain coming in. It ain't doing nothing. If I was to hit the play button here and show you guys, and that's if it's gonna play audio, and I doubt it's not because I think I messed some things up. Let's see here. All right. Let's see here. Really would like to show you guys. Okay, yeah, it's probably not gonna do it because I'm streaming. But what's gonna happen is your threshold. You're going to bring your threshold back. Once you bring your threshold back, you'll start seeing that needle start bumping. When your needle start bumping and moving to the groove and the vibe of the beat, that's what you're looking for. That's how I judge my mixed bus compression. I look at the needle for as how it's dancing with the track. Keyword, dancing with the track. Another thing is to always start out with a slow attack depending on the compressor. Some compressors are different, but slow attack, very slow release. Very slow attack. Remember that. Once you get seasoned and how to use bus compression, then you can open up things like, okay, I'm going to back off that slowness and speed it up a little bit. We're going to slow down the release just a little bit to start letting other elements in the mix, you know what I'm saying, become compressed and stand out. And, of course, you always want a good starting point is a 2-to-1 ratio. Now, if your compressor allows you to have anything less than a 2-to-1 ratio, like a 1.5 to 1 ratio or 1-to-1 ratio, which 1-to-1 ratio ain't gonna give you shit, to be honest with you. But anywhere between 1.1 through 1.9 to 1 ratio, you can still get some great amount of compression, just enough to squeeze that mix in and stuff like that. And of course, if your compressor has some type of sidechain high pass filter, utilize it. What that means with a sidechain high pass filter is anything below a certain set frequency. Let's say, for instance, your mix has a lot of heavy low end and it's hitting real good at around about 130 hertz. You know what I'm saying? But you set your compressor to 120 hertz on the sidechain high pass filter. Anything below 120 hertz will not get compressed. Everything above 120 hertz will get compressed. So what that happens is that your low end is not going to go through the mixed bus compressor. So that allows everything above that low end information to be compressed and leave your low end stuff alone. And that's how you achieve a nice bottom mix. Yeah, I ain't hear that from me, man. Y'all don't want me to talk to the church today for the folks in the back, man. I'm just fucking with y'all. So that's what I mean by making sure that your mix is glued together. Okay, I'm gonna switch it over back to the screen right here, man. That's what I mean by that, man. Making sure that your mix. Let me give you another analogy before we move on to the next topic. Peanut butter and jelly. You put peanut butter on one side. Your peanut butter can be your vocals. Your jelly can be the instruments that you made clear. When you put the two sandwiches together or the two loaves of bread, On one side got the peanut butter, which is your vocal. The jelly is the instruments. When you push that together, you ever squeeze the peanut butter jelly sandwich together? When you squeeze that shit together, you're meshing the peanut butter and the jelly. Remember what the peanut butter is: vocals, jelly, music. When you squeeze that shit together, you get a nice, flavorful whatever in between the two loaves of bread. Okay, so you get, a nice, you get to taste different things. You hear the vocals, but you can also hear the music, and it's all fused together. And if you utilize your gain reduction needle or meter on your compressor and use it, don't go past -2. Stay anywhere between -1 and -2. That is the sweet spot. Trust me, it'll make your life better, and your dynamics will smooth out. You won't take away, but it'll smooth out, and you'll still hear a mesh. And if your ears are trained to hear that type of stuff, that's another masterclass, man. This ain't the podcast for that right there, man. But you'll definitely hear a difference. If you go past -2, I guarantee you, in this digital world today, your kick drums is not going to sound the same. Your snare is not going to be as punchy. The vocals on certain pronunciations of the words, like a bop, bop, pick, paka, 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 all of that's going to get squashed, and it's really not going to sound real good. So you have to have a trained ear, and you have to train your ears in order to hear that mix glue. Okay, moving on to the next one, man. You know what I'm saying? The next thing I want to talk about is, the technicality of things. A lot of times when we're in the studio and we're vibing, you got the artist in there with his couple of people and your couple of people, and everybody, yeah, and stuff like that. We get caught up in the creative side of things. Okay, even though you're creating and mixing, we get caught up in the creative side of things. And there's technicalities that we have to pay attention to, okay? And that technicalities is all on what we need to do in order to take care of those technical issues. I always get clowned when I'm in the studio because a lot of people like to make fun because I'm always technical, or I'm the guru of technicality or whatnot. And there's a reason for that. The reason is because you want quality music. You don't want bullshit. I'm telling you, you don't want bullshit. Because I heard bullshit when people did not pay attention to the technical issues in the mix. So you probably ask me, well, what the fuck is that? Excuse my language, but what the fuck is that? Cool, I'm going to tell you what it is. The technicalities of it is something like making sure that the levels are straight, making sure that your individual tracks are not clipping. Oh, also make sure that your individual plugins are not clipping as well. I.e., if you have in the channel strip and you have a EQ and a compressor and a de-esser, each three of those modules should not be clipping. Let me say that again. If you have a separate EQ, a separate compressor, a separate de-esser, and Lord knows if you got a separate saturator, all four of those VST plugins or components or devices or hardware devices should not be clipping. They should have somewhat of a gain stage to them and not clipping in the red. That's called gain staging. That's called controlling the technicalities of your signal, i.e. clipping. You know what I'm saying? When you follow that process through how many ever tracks, 24, 32, 48, 64, it don't even matter. When you follow that process, I guarantee you will have a clear mix all the way over to the mix bus or the master track. I'm telling you, it works. Trust me on that, man. Another thing, technically, especially in 2021 and going forward in the future with digital distribution of music on an MP3 or a wave, is making sure that your LUFS meters, loudness unit full scale, your loudness unit full scale, LUFS meters are where they need to be at, or your levels are where they need to be at. Quiz. Do you know what that is? Do you know what figure that is, where you need to be at and stuff like that? A lot of people can't tell you. Oh, man, that shit sound good. I ain't clipping in the red. True, you may not be clipping in the red in your Pro Tools or your Studio One or your Ableton Live, but you may be hot like at -8, -6. You see what I'm saying? It may sound good. Okay, cool. But what's going to happen is when you take that WAV file or that MP3 and you upload it to your favorite distribution platform like DistroKid or United Masters or TuneCore or CD Baby, and the list goes on. What's going to happen is when they upload that to the stores they have their own LUFS guidelines or requirements or whatnot, and they're going to turn it down. So if you're peaking out at like -7 on your mix, -7 LUFS, you need to get you a LUFS meter. Real talk, you know what I'm saying? There's some websites that'll help you out with that, but that's another podcast, man. But if you're topping out at -7 on your LUFS meters, you need to turn it down. Turn your master track down till you get to about a relative volume. I'm going to tell you that what's key right now that's common throughout each Spotify release when I do my nerd stuff. And that is each mix is bottling out at around -10. That's -10. When you actually download the song, not what's being streamed, when you're downloading the song and stuff like that. So if you're a premium Spotify user, you can download the song. Check out the LUFS. It's bottling and topping out at around about -10, -9 pushing, but -10. That's the competitive LUFS level coming out of the studio. You know what I'm saying? Now, when it hits something like Spotify or YouTube Music or Amazon Music or something like that, then it probably get reduced to the standard. The standard is -14 LUFS on the levels and stuff like that. So you want to be around that anywhere in the ballpark of -10 or -14 LUFS meters and stuff like that. And you should be okay. And that mix is gonna translate good. It's going to translate good, man. I'm telling you, man. Because the Bluetooth headsets that you're listening on, yeah, they cap out stuff too. You notice if you have it loud, you ever like took one of your MP3s that you got out the studio and that bitch was loud as fuck, and you put it on your phone and you listen to it through the Bluetooth headset, it's like, yeah, something out of it. It's probably just too loud. It ain't nothing that you did in the vocals. You may have that beat sounding right. You may have the vocal sounding right. The motherfucker just loud, bro. Turn it down, and you get in those LUFS meters and levels and stuff like that. I guarantee you, it's gonna sound good. If it sound good raw, it's gonna sound good through the distribution platforms and stuff like that. One more thing a lot of people don't know also too is phase problems. Making sure that you don't have any instruments or vocals that's masking each other, which cause phasing. They'll phase each other out. You know what I'm saying? So if you have a lot of lead guitars, if you have a lot of the same vocal that's saying the same thing in the same tone, don't have it pan like all your vocals all center. I done seen tracks where niggas be, you know what I'm saying, they be recording, yeah, talking, blah, blah. All right, cool, give me another track. Yeah, talking, louder, bang. All right, cool, give me another track. Yeah, talking, louder, trash. So they saying, yeah, talking loud of trash 3 times. No difference in the vocal change, and the engineer or whoever recorded them didn't pan left, right, and center. What's going to happen is the vocal is going to phase itself out, and it's just going to sound like a, yeah, talking louder, trash. It's just going to sound loud. It's phasing itself out, man. So pay attention to that right there, man. The technicalities in your mix. And I can go on with some more technicalities, but we're on a time frame right now, man. Let's keep it pushing, man. Next thing I want to talk about with the mix is grows. And I'm talking without the music and everything. Let's cue back up the music, by the way, man. And for my folks on the audio side, you know what I'm saying, I'll fill that music in right there. No worries. Whatnot. But let's talk about music that grows and changes over time. That's what I like to call dynamics in the mix and stuff like that. This can, you know what I'm saying, make the mix more dynamic, more interesting, capture your listener when they feel like they're about to slip away, I'm about to skip the song. That's when that mix change up. It may have a filter stop. It may have a tape stop. The volume may fade out or some shit like that. You may take out the drums. You may take out the vocals. It may have a, you know, a bridge or something like that. You want to do something that'll change the beat up rhythmically every, you know what I'm saying, 4, 8, 16 bars and stuff like that. That way you keep your listener engaged or whatnot. Let me play one track for you guys off of this Front Row Vision that I thought was a real good job in the past of kind of explaining to you what it grows and change over time. Let me pull up this one track here. Where you at? All right, this one right here. And this track right here, when it starts off, it has just like a whole bunch of emotion in it or whatnot. Let's take a listen until it gets to the verse part, and you will see what I'm talking about. And when I made this track, I made it in Ableton Live, and there was a whole bunch of automation stuff I was doing, a lot of changes here and there or whatnot, but I wanted you to be engaged just with an instrumental. I don't even have vocals in here, but I wanted the instrumental to have you engaged enough to listen. And that's what I mean by, if you want to be a badass producer, learn arrangement and learning how to change dynamics in your instrumental, you will be a badass producer. Trust me on it. Check out this track right here. And this is what I'm talking about right here. Let's check this out. It's going to mix together. Hold on one second. Here we go.
Front row vision.
Salute. Joint chief of staffs on the beat.
Now you'll notice how the song is filtered out.
Salute. Joint chief of staffs on the beat.
You notice how the filters come out? And here we go, change. And it's also about how many instruments are you using, how you're gonna flip the sample, how you're gonna flip your drums. Watch after the hook. You hear the filter? So now you felt the shift in the beat. We was all high energy, and then all of a sudden it kind of mellows out and stuff like that. Simple filters, taking instruments out, adding another element in there and stuff like that. Now this is something that your engineer can do with a not seasoned producer or whatnot. So your engineer may know how to do all of this or whatnot, but it's just an example. You want to take people on a ride, put them on the wooden roller coaster. You know what I'm saying? Like when you got them wooden roller coasters, the motherfuckers go up and they go down big time and stuff like that. You're doing that, but you on a roller coaster, it's taking you up and down. You're getting a thrill out of the track, and that's what you want to do with your arrangements. I can't stress enough. If you want to have a good, dynamic, and interesting listening experience with your record, learn arrangement and how you can just finesse that arrangement. Trust me on that one, man. We're gonna keep it going. We got a few minutes left, all right, and we got 3 more points, and we'll be out of here, man. The next point I want to talk about how it sounds good relative to other songs and stuff like that. And then we deal with this all the time. Producers, other artists, and a lot of people in the industry. Hey man, check out my song. Hey, check out my song. Hey man, I got this song. Man, check out my song. Man, check out my song. Hey man, if you don't mind, man, you got a little minute, man, check out my song. Here's a link. Here's a link. There's a link and there's a link. You know what I'm saying? Like we listen to a lot of songs and whatnot, but when you're mixing all that other stuff is, yeah, that shit go hard. You know what I'm saying? But when you're mixing, it's a different type of check out my song. You know what I'm saying? You want to make sure you're in the same ballpark. So how I like to explain to people is when you want to compare your mix to another great song, use a great song. Use a song by a trusted engineer, someone that's got some accolades behind them, and you love they mix and stuff like that. Something that you know sounds good to you. Reference that. Have it up in Spotify, have it up on YouTube, however the fuck you need to. But play your stuff in the DAW versus what you hear on YouTube. It don't have to sound the same for us. Yeah, the 808 is like at such and such decibels, and yeah, the vocals are at such and such decibels, and the highs are like, y'all, and stuff like that. Nah, it ain't got to be all that. You want to be in the same ballpark. You want to make sure that the lows are round about the same. You want to make sure the midsection is right about the same. You want to make sure that the highs are right about the same. I take my mixes when I compare them to other tracks, and I break it up in those 3 simple parts. You know what I'm saying? And I just go back to the old days of 80s radio stations or 90s cars. You know, the cars back in the 80s and the 90s, and they had an EQ on the radio. Yeah, the radio was broken up into 3 EQ parts: lows, mids, highs. You know what I'm saying? When you would make those adjustments, what happened? my daddy, he used to always have a system in his car or whatnot. And, you know what I'm saying? He'll be jamming some motherfucking, he'll probably be jamming something like Dr. Dre, for example. But then he want to listen to Spice One. You know what I'm saying? So he'll go up there, he go underneath the steering wheel, and he be doing something with that EQ. Well, he probably had like an 8-band or 10-band EQ. But, you know what I'm saying, for the po folk, you know what I'm saying, what we used to do. Oh, shoot, man, let me turn up that bass. Let me turn up the mid. Let me turn up that high. Yeah, that sounds just like that song that was played beforehand. See, back in the gap, man, like when we had everything on cassette tape, we didn't have all this advancement in music technology. You know what I'm saying? You basically had to use everything with your ears. Certain songs sounded louder than others. You know what I'm saying? Especially if it was on a whole different project. So you had to utilize your EQ in order to match the comparison of the overall sense of how the song sound. And that's the same concept that you want to have with your mix. You know what I'm saying? You want to take another song that sounds dear to you and get it in the same ballpark. Trust me, that works, and it'll take you a very long way, man. Moving along, next to last point, man. We almost there. We almost at the home road. All right, cool deal, man. And that is, and let me play this backing music one more time for you guys. All right, I keep forgetting about y'all, man, and the backing music or whatnot, man. This is the first time, man. We're going to fix it up, man. This is just for the live stream right here. It's trying to change up some, but for my audio folks, man, on Spotify, I'm definitely going to take care of you guys on the blank parts with our music or whatnot. All right, cool deal. Moving along. Trying to get your mix to sound good on multiple systems. Now, this is where I know there's a lot of people that fuck up at. They'll have it sounding good in the studio, but then take it to the car. It's like, you know what I'm saying? You put it on them headphones. Trust me, I still be there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll mix something, boy. Yeah. Man, you pop that motherfucker on and you know what I'm saying? Your Bluetooth headset, Beats by Dre's, goddamn iPad, iPros, Samsung, whatever the fuck they call them shits or whatever. Shit don't sound good, don't it? Yeah, it make you question yourself. Is this for me? Real talk. And stuff like that. That's because you forgot one thing, and that was to check it on multiple systems. You have to check your stuff on multiple systems. You can have $2,000 pair of studio monitors in your studio. That really don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? You got to have like the absolute perfect environment. I'm talking about motherfucking walls with walls with walls. I'm talking about like a 3-layered wall with goddamn rocks underneath the floor and, you know what I'm saying, treated goddamn ceramic tile above you with a floating ceiling and with diffusers and absorbers on the motherfucking wall. I can go on. I could build you a $2 million studio. And that's just with goddamn acoustic treatment. We ain't talking about the equipment yet. All that shit don't matter if it's just not perfect. And we don't live in a perfect world. So I done seen people struggle on high-end equipment because they're missing the acoustical treatment or they got the acoustical treatment with weak-ass equipment. You know what I'm saying? So it's never a perfect world. But what you do need to do is check it on multiple sound systems. I keep saying that because that is the tried and true. And it still works for me today, man. Let me tell you how, man. Let me tell you how. You know what I'm saying? What you do is, if you know in the mix, I need to correct something, go ahead, write it down. Then you take the mix MP3 the best way, because it's a compressed file, audio file. Take that MP3, listen to it. Get your notebook though, or make mental notes. If you're good with making mental notes, cool, not a problem. If you're not, write that shit down. I'm telling y'all, write that shit down. Get you a pen and paper and go to the car. Get you a pen and paper. Go play it on a cell phone. Play it on your laptop. Play it on your mama laptop. Play it on your little boy Chromebook. You know what I'm saying? Then go get your iPad. Then go and you got a DJ buddy. Go to his house and play it on his DJ system. You know what I'm saying? Then go to your car. You understand what I'm saying? Catch an Uber and tell the Uber dude to play the shit in his fucking shit or whatever. Write down the notes. Put together your notes. You find the common problem. Even if you do it on a 2, 3, or 4 different systems, you're still going to find a common problem. If you find a common problem or you find a problem, correct it. Correct only that problem. Don't let your mind go start wandering and you start fixing other shit. Correct that one problem. Repeat the process. It should work. A lot of times nowadays they have these things called these AI, artificial AI, these AI plugins that simulate a room, a well-treated room or whatnot, such as Slate VSX, which is these are the headphones right here. $400. These motherfuckers, $400. Y'all go look that shit up. Look, there it is. Goddamn, where the light at? Yeah, there they got a fucking light. Slate VSX headphones, $400 system. It gives you a Tesla. It gives you a G-Wagon, Mercedes G-Wagon. It gives you about 5-6 different studios with different monitor setups. It gives you a club environment, 6 different goddamn headphones, and a motherfucking boombox. And I'm going to tell you something. Out of all the AI, let's try it out type of plugins, those are pretty good. And they're worth the $400. Waves have some. Waves does have some. It's called a Waves NX, and they have different versions of what they have, and they're pretty good too. But those are just starting points, and I normally use that as a starting point first. So I'll mix, then I'll jump on the Slate VSX system or use something with Waves. I'll check it there, cool. Then I'll go to that, and everything I'm doing, I'm making a mental note trail or a paper trail. Once you make that paper trail, it's just like somebody shot somebody, and the detectives go out trying to find who the fuck killed that person. Same process, man. Same motherfucking process. Check your mix on multiple sound systems. Do it. Thank me later. Trust me. All right, moving along. Last topic. It's time to go. It's time to get the hell up out of here. Last, important one. Important one. If you love the way it sounds, keep it that motherfucking way, man. Look, let me tell you something. If you love the way it sounds, keep it that way. It's so many times I done heard a mix and I love the way it sounds, but the nerd in me, the engineer in me, or the producer or the technical motherfucker, or as my boy C there say, guru in me, I start changing shit. And that's where I fuck up at. You know what I'm saying? If you hit a plateau in the mix where you like, yeah, and you find yourself bobbing your head and dancing, that's where you need to just stop. Okay? Stop. You know what I'm saying? If you're producing the record and well, stop. If you're mixing and you find yourself dancing to the mix, stop. Come back to it another day or bounce that motherfucker out, check it on multiple sound systems. But if you love the way it sounds, leave it alone, man. And you almost there. You like 95% there. The other 5% is just making sure that, again, you get the technical stuff right on that part right there, man. Hey, man, this has been a good session. You know what I'm saying? Nailing the final mix. You know what I'm saying? Episode 62, man. You know what I'm saying? We only got a few minutes. Hey, man, I just want to say thank you for everybody, you know what I'm saying, showing up, showing out, checking out the playback on this episode right here. We're going to come. Actually, I got a couple of recorded episodes for you guys, so we're going to get those edited up or whatnot. But I really needed get this out of my system because I was like, fuck this podcast. I really was, man. You know what I'm saying? Some flaky shit happened for us guest wise or whatnot, and it really kind of burnt the spirit that I had beforehand, and helping out other people with their stuff as well, man. It just felt like, well, damn, you know what I'm saying? Why every time I get something good rolling, something happens? So, you know what I'm saying? We back on it. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't nothing but an evil spirit that we had to shake it on, or whatnot, man. But I appreciate everyone rocking with us or whatnot. And shout out to all my previous guests that was on beforehand or whatnot, man. And I hope your futures are burning bright as far as what you're trying to do and what you are doing, and keep doing that motherfucker, man. This has been your boy Super Mario, man. You can follow me on IG at Super Mario_producer. Follow this podcast right here on Instagram as well at onthebeat.podcast as well. Hey, you're checking us out on YouTube. Hey, go ahead, man. Go ahead and follow us on goddamn YouTube. Go ahead and subscribe. Oh, I got some people. Guru. What's going on? The dude that called me Guru is in the building, man. Shout out to Kylie Hayes, Carlos Montgomery, a.k.a. C-Cash, man, and stuff like that. Y'all must be on Facebook and stuff like that. I forgot I was streaming on Facebook. So what we're going to do, man, we're going to go ahead, publish this video on YouTube. We're going to take this audio. We're going to put it up on our Spreaker and stuff like that to all my audio fans and my podcast, that people that download the podcast and stuff like that. Appreciate you so much. We're going to cut this up. We're going to make it sound good for you guys. And we're going to be up out of here, man. Again, you know what I'm saying? Follow on the beat.podcast on Instagram. And check out the Instagram TV previews that we're going to do for this particular episode right here, man. The next episode, I really just forgot what it was that I recorded, but we'll probably come out with that next week, man. Until then, you know what I'm saying, make sure you follow this YouTube page, SUPAMARIO, man. Follow, subscribe, hit the little bell and all the other stuff, you know what I'm saying, to make sure you stay tuned into exclusive content on this channel, man. I feel good. I feel froggy tonight. I may make a beat. I don't know. I really don't know. But we definitely be doing that type of exclusive production here on the YouTube channel. So make sure you go and check that out. Also, if you're on Spotify, make sure you go ahead and, you know what I'm saying, like us and follow us on Spotify, on the Beat podcast on Spotify, man. We also have a Spotify playlist. It's called On the Beat podcast Spotify playlist. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you go follow that. If you go on our Instagram page, we have a link tree. Just go ahead, click the link in the bio. It'll take you everywhere where we at and stuff like that. And we're also on Apple. We're actually on Spreaker, Google Podcasts, and last but not least, Spotify, man. So just check us out right there, man. And you can check out all our podcasts. Yeah. I know it's a lot of content out there, but hey, it's all good. Give me 30 seconds of your time, man. Goddamn. Man, we up out of here, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody out there streaming, checking out. And we about to be up out of here, man. I hope this works, and we're going to perfect this as we go. So this was like a little mini masterclass. So I have some tricks up my sleeve or whatnot. So y'all stay tuned to that. And, y'all make sure you stay tuned to the On The Beat podcast. And we're out of here, man. Y'all stay safe out there, man. Wear your mask and all that other shit, man. Don't get COVID, man, because that's a whole nother podcast too, man. We get the hell up out of here, man. Y'all be easy, man. Y'all stay creative, and we out. Peace.